Well, big rivalry games are on tap for tonight in the Missouri Valley Conference as 12 teams are going at it tonight. 6 MVC games for you. Welcome to Wednesdays in the Valley. Wednesdays in the Valley, part of valleyhoopsinsider.com. And I'm Harry Schroeder, editor of the site, host of this show. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to like or subscribe. We put out a bunch of content about the Missouri Valley and Ohio Valley conferences. Feel free to like and subscribe. As we head into a very full night of Valley Hoops, all 12 teams are going on, and we have an MVC race that's crazy. 8 of the 12 teams are within 2 games of each other for the top spot in the Missouri Valley Conference. There's a clear-cut group of players that are in contention for the Missouri Valley's Larry Bird Trophy Most Valuable Player Award. We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast today, and there's some cool storylines forming for Arch Madness that starts just a little over a month from today. Some big rivalry games tonight. Of course, Belmont at Murray State, one of the best rivalries in all of college basketball for sure in our conference and in college basketball. Belmont at Murray, they had 10 great years of battling one another in the OVC, and now they duel here in the Missouri Valley Conference. Of course, Belmont is one of the 2 teams tied for first. They defeated the Racers earlier in the year when Player of the Year candidate Ben Shepard had 23 points, 6 boards, 4 assists. They handed out 20 assists in that game, beat them by 15. And so Murray wants to turn the trick on them this evening at the bank. And so that's what's going on there. Murray State, by the way, 8-1 at home. They're very tough to beat at home, and their only loss came at the hands of the other first-place team, Southern Illinois. 2 of the 3 teams tied for second place are Iowa natives, Iowa rivals, Iowa rivalry going on tonight as Northern Iowa visits Drake. That's an 8 o'clock start on MVC TV, by the way. The rest of the games are all at 7 p.m. This is the first meeting of the 2 of them this year, and it's a meeting of the regular season champion from last year, Northern Iowa, against the Arch Madness champion, Drake. 1 Player of the Year candidate on each team, Bowen Bourne at Northern Iowa and Tucker DeVries at Drake, both of them in the top 4 in scoring in the league. Those top 4 are all separated by less than 1 point per game. All of them over 18, none of them over 19. That race itself will be kind of fun. Bourne has been terrific this year. Tucker DeVries, as you know, didn't play this weekend, had an elbow infection, was hospitalized with it, and as of Monday, head coach Darren DeVries wasn't clear if his son was going to be able to play in tonight's game. Pay close attention to that. UNI holds a massive lead in this rivalry, 51-31, but Drake has won 4 of the last 5 games between the 2 teams. By the way, all of this will be on our website. You can just read the information later today if you would like. Probably the highest profile game of the night. When you look at the standings between Southern Illinois and Bradley, they're at Bradley tonight. One of the first-place teams, Southern Illinois, at one of the second-place teams, Bradley. As a matter of fact, both of these teams are playing. Both of the first-place teams are playing on the road. It wouldn't be shocking for us to wake up tomorrow morning and have 4 teams tied for first and 4 teams tied for second. Listen, Valley chaos is a very real thing. This matchup of the Valley's best 2 defensive teams, and they have star power too. SIU's Marcus Damask is another one of those Player of the Year candidates. He's up there in 6 different categories on the Valley stat sheet, and one of the top scorers, plays some of the most minutes in the league. He does everything for Brian Mullen's team. Bradley's Rink Mass started the season slowly. He didn't perform slowly. He started out of the gate with some injuries, but he's a Player of the Year candidate as well. The Braves hold a slight 54-50 edge over SIU, but the Cougars, the Salukis rather, have won 3 of the last 4 between the teams. Lesser rivals, but still rivals, are the 2 Indiana-based teams, 2 of the 3 Indiana-based teams. Indiana State is traveling to Evansville tonight. These 2 teams square off for the second time. Indiana State beat Evansville by almost 30 the first time they played. The Sycamores started, as you know, the conference season winning 6 in a row. Then they lost 5 in a row, snapped that losing streak on Saturday, beating Northern Iowa. Evansville still in a tough sledding. They've lost 10 games in a row. Think about this. Sycamore head coach Josh Schertz was in his first year last year at Indiana State. They only won 11 games all year. They only won 4 conference games. David Ragland and the crew there at Evansville, they're aware that it's going to take some time, and they're looking for some way to break through and to get a victory in conference play. Indiana State leads the Valley in scoring. Evansville is last in the Valley in scoring defense. Pay attention to that game tonight. UIC is at Illinois State. Former Illinois State assistant Luke Yaklich is now the head coach at UIC. So a little bit of rivalry things there. Neither of these teams is their season going like they desired. But during UIC's first Valley season, they were 8-3 in the non-conference, 1-10 though. Now in the league play, they are struggling along. They've lost 9 straight games, but competitive in so many of those games. A lot of tight games for them. First-year Illinois State coach Ryan Peden saw his team capture a significant win this weekend. They got a big win to bolster their confidence. Their losing streak had reached 4 games with an overtime loss to Bradley. But then they upset SIU 72-66. Seneca Knight broke through with 24 points. Kendall Lewis had been in a little bit of a slump, ended up having his second back-to-back double-double. During the UIC losing streak, only 3 of those losses have come by more than 10 points. One of them was in overtime. They're competitive. They've got to figure out a way to break through. And finally, what I'm calling a momentum game. Valparaiso is at Missouri State. Since starting 4-1 in league play, Missouri State has won 3, they lost 4. They're just kind of win 1, lose 1. They're looking for some momentum. The Bears, in that record that they've beaten Drake twice. I mean, they're having a fine year, but trying to get the momentum going. Since losing their first 7 games, Valparaiso has won 4 of their last 5. They're riding a momentum wave right now. Player of the Year candidate Ben Krikke is just having a spectacular season. The 6'9" senior is 4th or 5th in scoring, 9th in rebounding. He is their go-to guy and has really become a great facilitator in the last couple of games. In Sunday's win, he scored 30 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and handed out 4 assists. While every Missouri State player has started at least one game, and most of them multiple games, guard Alston Mason has emerged lately as a player they're going to offensively. He's made 2 starts last week, scored 41 points combined. The Oklahoma transfer had a career-high 19, then a career-high 22, and so he's really giving a shot in the arm to the Missouri State squad. Mason has started 10 games for Missouri State this year, and he's recorded double-figure games in 7 of those 10 games. This week's Courtside Chat with Mike Kern won't be until Friday, so don't look for it tomorrow. That'll happen on Friday. 6 games tonight. The standings shift dramatically every night that these teams play. The Missouri Valley Conference race, I'm saying it now, chaos in the Valley, right? I hashtag it because the Valley race is wild. I'm Harry Schroeder. Listen, remember, since you've been there, make it a better place. We'll see you again real soon.